Most people recognize this face instantly. Pale skin, light eyes, long flowing hair. It is the dominant visual template for Jesus in the Western world, but it is entirely an artistic invention of modern Northern Europe. Images like this became the most reproduced depictions in human history. They are excellent artifacts for studying recent cultural art and mass printing, but they tell us absolutely nothing about first-century biology. We have a deep psychological habit of projecting our own immediate world backward onto ancient history, shaping the past to fit both our visual expectations and our modern politics. You see this geographically when people apply modern national labels to the ancient world. Describing a first-century woman like Mary as an Israeli or a Palestinian applies concepts of modern citizenship to an era that did not possess them. You see it chronologically when people describe John the Baptist as a Moor. That applies a North African term, popularized after the year 711 CE, to a Levantine man who lived 7 centuries earlier. To uncover the actual physical appearance of this family, we have to discard Renaissance oil paintings and modern maps entirely and turn to hard science. Imposing modern political and visual categories actively blinds us to the biological and historical reality of the ancient Levant. The true geographic setting for this history is the first-century Jewish world of the southern Levant, specifically the environments of Galilee and Judea. This was a population characterized by deep biological continuity, anchored by generations of local family lineages. But we face a severe scientific challenge. We have 0 authenticated physical remains or DNA from Jesus, his family, or his immediate followers. We cannot test them directly. To solve this, we rely on population genetics. By building a demographic profile of their exact environment, we can define the strict boundaries of what was biologically probable. This map plots the genomic data from a landmark study that successfully sequenced 73 newly sampled genomes from the Bronze and Iron Age southern Levant. The data reveals a highly specific genetic makeup, a continuous mixture of local Neolithic Levantine ancestry, blending with immigrant populations from the Chalcolithic Zagros and Bronze Age Caucasus. Cautionary: these genomes predate the 1st century by hundreds or even thousands of years. These are not the DNA profiles of biblical figures. But tracing this long-term genetic continuum allows scientists to establish a highly accurate biological baseline for the population that followed them into the 1st century. By mapping the deep ancestry of the region, ancient DNA provides an objective mathematical foundation for reconstructing the faces of the Levant. We can apply that mathematical foundation directly to the science of human pigmentation. This timeline charts the separate evolutionary tracks for the light skin allele, the blue eye mutation, and the blonde hair variant. Nature did not release pale skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes as one complete genetic package. It is a biologically recent assembly. The specific pale phenotype you see in traditional religious art only consolidated into a dominant population norm in Northern Europe around 3,000 years ago during the Iron Age. First-century Levantines did carry some light pigmentation alleles, such as SLC24A5, but they completely lacked the required genetic dosage for that Northern European visual package. First-century Judean osteological data provides a clear profile. Men averaged roughly 5'5", staying exceptionally lean and muscular from intense, daily physical labor. That pale, blue-eyed depiction represents a genetic phenotype that was still finishing its assembly on an entirely different continent during his lifetime. In his context, it is an evolutionary impossibility. When we combine the genetic and osteological data, a probabilistic profile emerges. Jesus and his family most likely had olive brown to medium brown skin, dark brown to black hair, and brown eyes, a physical profile similar to contemporary Iraqi Jews. The historically accurate grooming standards of the era dictate short texture hair and cropped beards. The flowing shampoo commercial locks of later religious art contradict the cultural norms of his environment. Because this is a statistical norm, natural human variation still applies. Individual differences existed within the population, meaning some people were naturally slightly lighter or darker. Without authenticated DNA or remains, the exact shape of Jesus' nose or the precise shade of his skin will permanently elude us. But when we stop forcing ancient history to wear modern political labels and Renaissance paint, we finally reveal the richer, scientifically accurate reality of the people who actually built the past.